Braka, braka, braka. YouTube, welcome to HSE-TV Entertainment. Thank you for the one that commented and said, they're messing with the channel. Really appreciate that. Brakas to you and your family. I don't know if y'all remember, but me and my cousin Durante, when we were young, we saw a cockatrice or a pterodactyl. But they got a special name for it. And there are creatures out here that hell has unleashed. We ain't ready for.
Now to the new details that we're learning about the last days of that American missionary who was murdered on a remote Indian island.
It is illegal to go within 5 nautical miles of this island because the inhabitants are known for aggressive behavior. American missionary believed to have been killed by an endangered tribe on a remote island in the Indian Ocean. I'm scared, he writes, watching the sunset, and it's beautiful, wondering if it will be the last sunset I see. Despite his apprehension, he did return to the island and was never seen alive again. Fishermen say that they saw his body being dragged and buried. Local authorities believe that he was killed with bow and arrow.
Sometimes deep in the jungle, the night brings with it sights and sounds that belong to no known creature. Creep me out. Like figures that seem both part of the earth and apart from it. Creatures that make you question reality. And other unusual finds. And today, we're peeling away these secrets.
After this video, your life is never going to be the same. So I need you to stop whatever you're doing and give me your undivided attention. Okay?
500, 1,000, even 2,000 a day. I love you. Thank you so much.
I can't tell you how good this feels. For the first time in my life, I bought something online, and I got way more than my money's worth.
So I just kind of logged out because mine hadn't.
Let's be honest here. If you saw that darting towards you even in broad daylight, it would scare the ever-living crap out of you. While this string mop-looking stick is just a performance, don't think it's all about putting on a show. In Yoruba culture, Zang Bedo acts as a mysterious guardian that helps keep peace in order. These guardians wear large cone-shaped costumes made from raffia fibers, which hide who they are. They play a key role as a bridge between the living world and the spirit world, performing at religious and community events. Their deep connection to ancient rituals and ancestral spirits not only helps maintain law, but also builds a sense of respect among their community. The Night Marcher. The Night Marchers are spirits of ancient Hawaiian tribal warrior resurrected to life, storming forests in the dark, ready to unleash havoc on anyone who dares to look them in the eye. For centuries, the Night Marcher was thought to be a mere myth. But as one tourist explored its thick forested area, she came across something remarkably similar to the Night Marcher. The creepy part is that she didn't even realize the danger she was in, not until she was back home safe and uploaded her photos. In the distance, one Night Marcher staring her down. The Night Marcher phased out of nowhere, as if waiting in the shadows. The hiker returned, but the Night Marcher had long gone. The Arapaima. From the looks of it, you'd think these people are carrying a giant creature. And you wouldn't be too far off. Only they're carrying a giant fish. Or what looks like it. Just the size of it alone makes no wonder why a whole team is carrying it. I'd say that it has enough fish in it to feed the entire village, right? When the video made its rounds, so many people were convinced this was some ancient mythical creature, a mermaid-like hybrid that's somehow able to live in the jungle. But I'd reckon this is the Arapaima, a gigantic fish native to the Amazon in South America. And yes, this isn't even the biggest Arapaima out there. The Puppeteer. If you saw this at night, you'd think the area is haunted by something akin to the Babadook. But this is nothing more than just a performance, put on by a few African tribes that love to reconnect with each other over giant puppets. These puppets are fashioned with extreme care, made to look like actual living, breathing people. That's an impressive craftsmanship, but what makes them even more amazing is their owners. They're able to make these puppets look lifelike while operating them with just stilts. That's a talent you can't summon out of nowhere. Although, if I saw them coming at me while I was lost in the woods, my heart would stop. Jungle sub. The last thing you'd expect in any jungle is a sub. Because aren't they supposed to be in water? Not stuck somewhere in the middle of nowhere? So color these U.S. officials surprised when they decided to check out a remote forest and ended up facing a submarine half submerged in the marsh. It was even wider once they were able to open up the submarine, revealing that it probably belonged to a gang or a cartel and was used to smuggle some illicit items around. Only how it got waterlogged is a big mystery, because no owner in their right mind would abandon something like this, and that too in a remote jungle. Wendigo madness. The jungles of Africa hold a lot of ominous things, so if you see a local running for his life, you must assume there's something treacherous following him. Now, I know it seems like he's running aimlessly, but this youngster just wanted to record his hike through the jungle when he sensed something ominous following him. Not wasting a minute, he began running, not even looking back. But the second he halts, you see a dark figure appear from within the dense trees. Many believe this is actually a Wendigo, but one that's masking itself as a human. Others think it could be a tribesman with a taste for the hiker. Wendigo. Two glinting eyes staring at you from the dark. That has to be up there on the list of nightmares. This happened in the Woodlands National Park.
Welcome to Woodlands National Park, located in the beautiful state of...
where a private military group set up camp to hunt the elusive Wendigo.
For anyone struggling with high blood sugar, do not drink cold water. Did you know type 2 diabetes is a completely reversible condition? You may not know this, but the biological reason why people struggle with type 2 has nothing to do with how many carbs or sugars you eat. A November 2023 study from University of Dusseldorf in Germany found that there are these sticky protein-filled cells clogging up the part of the pancreas that
Wendigo. In that context, it's quite understandable why they started freaking out after seeing those glints.
I'll check it out.
But then, things took a turn for the worse. There were some screams, and the creature darted toward the men, who quickly split, with the cameraman jumping into the open tent. Hoping its canvas could shield him from danger. The Wendigo chased the others, but must have realized there was an easier target lying nearby. Creepily, the cameraman vanished after that, leaving behind this tape.
I'll check it out.
Groot.
See the thing right there? It's creeping me out.
We've learned all our lives that trees were real, but we never really gave that a thought, did we? Well, what if the same trees that give us air turn into demonic creatures at night? What if they're ready to pounce on you on any minute? But you don't know. A hiker snuck into a prohibited section of a forest, hoping to capture something unique, but found himself in the crosshairs of a tree-like creature. Standing motionlessly against the tree, you can just sense the demonic feelings that thing's experiencing. Although we don't know its motives, we do know they're not good for us. The hiker took the creature's appearance as a cue to leave. But how spooky is that?
Earlier. Yeah, no, it's not a stomp.
The Jenny. A group of forest rangers in Saudi Arabia were driving back home through the thick trees when they noticed a ghostly white figure standing in the middle of the clearing. This was unusual itself, since the forest wasn't open for tourists at that time. Thinking they'd found a lost hiker, they drove closer, only to notice it was a woman, with long black hair reaching her back, dressed in all white. Creepily enough, the woman was completely hunched over, as if she couldn't even stand up straight. That was enough to tell them this wasn't any human. Maybe a djinn? They quickly reversed the Jeep, hoping to evade her, but the woman started chasing them. Thankfully, they eventually did escape.
Pause. Y'all saw the wand stick she had? Saw how she was walking? Them creatures that was made. The war with us. 2 feet, gnomes, elves, fairies. You thinking it's dragonflies? You better look.
Stone thrower. As a hiker reached the forest trail's end, he saw a bunch of stones lying on the ground, one landing right in front of him. Curious about it, he quickly turned the corner, spotting some weird creature. Before he could even process it, the creature began hurling.
Pause. Yeah, I'm laughing at myself. Like I said, I don't know if YouTubers know, I was late night burning some fire in my backyard. You know, the house had some trash and stuff, and I wanted to get it out the house. And something in the woods with a big, big face and like real long arms. I wasn't ready for it. I said, nah, I ain't ready, Lord. All right, so I understand when that man said, I had to process this. Like when your soul leave the dimension of your body, but still in the earth realm, like when you see Wile E. Coyote, his eyeballs come out, his soul come out, and then it's his body, you know, Looney Tunes back in the day. And so that's what you're doing. Like 5 seconds feel like 3 minutes because you like, did I just see what I just saw? Am I looking at what I'm looking at? Why? You know what I'm saying? That thing coming at you or whatever's going down. And then you just snap back. Like it's like your soul go back in your body. Your eyes come back. You like, yeah, I did. Pew! And then you start thinking to do what you need to do.
Stones in his direction, missing him by a few inches. Knowing his life was in serious danger,
now,
the man quickly
some of the demons be looking like that. They say they got long arms, their arms down there longer than their body. Like, just weird old crap, man. And this is what the news should be putting on the TV. That this hockey crap they doing and the politics and what the hell is that? There's a lot of stuff going on, but as soon as you see it, the only thing in the world that people gonna have to relate is the word of God.
Let's backtrack a little. What on earth is this creature? Some sort of humanoid form birthed out of a crazy experiment?
Look at his legs. He got calf feet.
Extraterrestrial life form that's out to hunt us down.
Yo, man, I can't catch it. Commercials is pissing me off, man.
Paycheck.
Dang, I ain't never seen so much commercials, man. That guy, right? We done pissed off somebody with a lot of money, man. This thing don't even got the yellow joints for commercials, man. Look at it. The red line at the bottom.
Hunt us down. Who knows?
I can't pause it right in time, yo.
Congo Trex.
There you go. Well, I thought I had it. But y'all saw it. My man had horse feet. In the jungles
of the Congo Basin lurks a creature of legend, the Mokel Mimbi. With its long neck and powerful body, the Mokel Mimbi is rumored to live in Congo and even has had reported sightings over the past few decades, but never really proved to have existed. Recently, though, there's been a buzz in the air. A video has surfaced allegedly capturing the elusive Mokel Mimbi in action. In this footage, the creature emerges from the murky waters of the remote river, its massive form sending ripples across the surface. It's not the only proof. The Mokel Mimbi has also been allegedly seen from the air. While skeptics dismiss it as mere folklore, the creature could still exist. Skunk ape. In the early 2000s, rumors about a creature haunting Florida took shape. It was said to have a burly body covered with hair, with a remarkable resemblance to a gorilla, but humanoid enough to raise questions. The skunk ape, as was its name, was believed to emerge from the Floridian tropical forests and raid
Sasquatch. This is what Cain looked like. This is the Lemurians. Hello, Genesis chapter, 4? For killing his brother. And y'all looking at Planet of the Apes and Godzilla versus King Kong. I mean, hold on, purple bowl on top. So, in the refrigerator. So Cain, it was told by Jasher, the book of Jasher, the book of Jubilees, that it said that his grandchild, which he was blind, which you know to be Lamech, who is Noah's father, it was said that he killed Cain. And well, you know that in your regular Bibles, when it says, I've killed the man, Adah and Zillah, that was his two wives, already practicing that polygamy. And he said, y'all gonna have to bear me son, but I got to get the 70 times 7 if he did Cain 7. So in the book of Jasher and Jubilees, it tells you how. It says Lamech took one of his family members, because he can't see too good, and they were outside hunting, and the little boy knew his grandfather, and he looked at him and said, there go an animal. And Lamech was real good at hunting, so that's how he killed Cain. But then when he walked up on him, he was like, this nigga like human like, and then it hit him. That's our descendant. And it said he got so mad, he took his hands and bashed his son's head into for lying, for making him kill Cain. And that's why he told his wives, Adah and Zillah, you got to bear me a child. And you can see why they was going to be pissed off when he said that.
Ape fisherman's stock. Ultimately, it was chalked up as a hoax, but one man came forward with this video, proving the skunk ape's existence. You can't even argue that it's a human donning a furry suit, because this creature is well over 7 feet, so it had to be something inhuman. But it quickly vanished, leaving a big mystery behind. Bigfoot's rumble. Show this to anyone who says Bigfoot isn't real. Although the creature has remained out of sight for most of its existence, a lost hiker accidentally stumbled upon its territory. Somewhere deep in the rainforest of the U.S., the hiker saw a burly figure quickly crossing his path. It was clear the Bigfoot was looking for its next victim, possibly hoping to secure a meal out of the wandering heat. But for some reason, didn't see him at all. Although the thick trees covered the Bigfoot's body, you can see it.
I just proved to you by the word of God itself. I don't care, you call him Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Harry off the Hendersons, eight men. Matter of fact, the Tower of Babel, he hit Lemuria again. He said, I turned some people into elephants and great gorillas. Oh, there go King Kong Godzilla again. Godzilla obviously is the dragon, nigga, Leviathan in the waters. And they say China, Asia, Godzilla. Oh, Leviathan? Because that's where Cain came from. The old nigga started that Leviathan. Y'all the dragon worshipers, right? Right at the Bermuda Pacific Dragon Triangle, right? That's what they call it. Don't duck your head under the waters now. Don't go under the rocks now, we calling y'all. So over here in the Atlantic, we don't got no dragon. We got a force field. Yeah, called the Bermuda. Which your book say Secret Chambers of the North. Somebody talk to me, YouTube. So in the book of help me, Holy Spirit, who's going is it Jasher? Chapter 61, where the Holy Spirit showed y'all a inky type dude, a beast like a calf or an ox with a waist on up as a man with horns. Wow, that's like wow. That's your Genesis. That's like the beginning, you know, like Seth and them soot top. You know what I'm saying? Who they make you think, hey, these are good guys in your little Bible. That's why the Lord say, run your salvation with trembling fear. He'll start opening up your eyes.
Clearly by just focusing the frame. The crazier part is that Bigfoot was later seen following the same hiker, but quickly managed to camouflage perfectly against the trees. Venezuelan goat sucker. In September 2013, an explorer traversing the thick terrain of a remote jungle in Venezuela found the carcass of a mysterious creature lying in the middle of a clearing. Now, there's nothing unusual about finding animal carcasses, especially in a jungle, since predators are always lurking around and leaving animals to feast on later. But what's unusual is that this creature wasn't identifiable. Although it looked like a slightly wolfish creature, its claws were insanely human-like, with small finger-like digits. If we
see, we're looking at the spirit-shaped ship that just left the body, but we're just looking at a shell, you know, like a snake come out of his skin. That's all that is.
Get over the uncanny appearance.
We're living in the last days. You're going to see some stuff.
If it were an animal, it wouldn't be left like this. It'd be eaten clean. Ultimately, the explorer believed this was proof of the elusive chupacabra. Skinwalkers spotted. Skinwalkers. We've heard so much about them in the movie.
So is being in your Bible.
That we're fooled into thinking they don't exist. But they do, hiding in the darkness, ready to pop out when you least expect. Only this time, the Skinwalker was also caught a little off guard, since the people it encountered.
My man got that ninja sword in his head. He playing, son.
Just look at that. How can you even argue that's a person dressed in a skin-tight suit? The creature is clearly much, much taller than most humans. Plus, its gait is rather suspicious, too. You couldn't possibly think that's normal. And then this happened.
Not only is it taller, he ain't even standing upright. Now, let's go back 20, 30 years ago. Y'all remember when they said, man, we found two different types of families of man in the beginning, one upright. Of course, we know that's Adamu, Adam. And then there's a crooked man. Crooked man? The crooked serpent, perhaps?
Single flame and the creature vanished. That's certainly spooked.
Here we go with the distractions, man.
I just got my limited edition Never Surrender coin, and
nobody cares.
It's even better in person than
not us. That's not up to the program. Online.
Before even picking it up,
vanished. That's certainly spooky, even from my standards. The forest deep.
Hold on. I got to rewind that.
This video just a little bit for the faint-hearted. Right from the spooky. Even from my standards.
Pause. Now, you see that? This thing is naked. Okay? It's not a skeleton. It's like, you know, like the skin structure of what they show you, the grays, like the real one. I know put on a suit and I'm going to act like this. No, but the real thing. The Bible says they can't reprocreate. Now, he naked. Where the private part at? Right there in your face, man. This the real deal. Right there. This what be coming out the woods and stuff. Now, I seen them, not looking for them. Just minding my business. I'm like, I hope I don't see no bears. You know what I'm saying? I got to get home. In North Carolina in the country, I used to hear stuff. I couldn't see it. And one day I seen stuff like that. That's all it takes for me. And just like that runner in Africa, I stepped it up again. I might have been a hurricane coming through there. My granddaddy saw me, he already had the gun out. That's how loud I was when I thought as like 12 years old all the way to like 20. Man, in the country, man, you see some weird stuff. I'm saying, so like you don't expect it. You know what I'm saying? Like when it all said and done, you be like, I'd have never lived here. I known this was here. So like as a kid, I seen a lot of stuff I really wasn't ready for. But the Lord was sowing seeds for when I get older, because it's gonna get wax worse. And so I remember looking at the clouds at 6 and 7, and Jupiter and Saturn, they used to be super big, and we could see them in the daytime sometime. That shit's not happening no time soon, and some people can't even remember that. I'm saying, I'd be like, wow, I thank God for grace, man. I remember the clouds used to form all kinds of angelical, I call it now angelical, but we say animals and stuff, but the peaceful ones. Me and my cousin, what you gonna do in the country? You know what I'm saying? In the heat, when you gotta cool down, and mama say you can't come in the house real quick. You're gonna lay back in the shade and look up. And they took that from us, man. They took the real superpower of the natural Most High God and put us in a Ouija board and said metaverse. Technology, that's the Ouija board.
The Forest Demon. This video isn't for the faint-hearted. Right from the get-go, you can tell whoever recorded this is in a state of panic. And it's because this was allegedly recorded by a group of explorers who snuck into a forest rumored to be a testing ground for the military. So they're pretty much spooked already. But then they find this. A deer helpless on the ground, squirming against the claws or grasp of an unknown creature. The way it looks, you'd think the ground is swallowing up the deer itself. And that wouldn't be too far off from the truth. Many believe this is some sort of demonic creature created through a secret experiment. No wonder the woods were off limits.
The Blob. That's all I can think of.
With panic echoing in their voices, two Turkish hikers stopped in their tracks when they noticed a whitish silhouette calmly passing through the dense trees. The sight was so unreal and unbelievable. The two hikers were constantly questioning each other, confirming that they were indeed seeing the same thing.
Orada duruyor, görüyor musun? Çekebiliyor musun? Çekebiliyor musun?
They think they've captured the Yeti on camera. But since the elusive creature quickly disappeared, they aren't really sure. If you ask me, it could just be a creepy prank. But that's no way a human, because the way it disappeared, this creature certainly has some secret powers. Jungle spirit. Let's settle on one thing. If you're ever alone at night, don't wander off into a forest. Forget the animals. You might meet the spirit of a long-lost woman. Yeah, it sounds like a load of whack until you see this. The womanly ghost is clearly seeking a target. So the cameraman kept a good distance, but even that didn't hinder the creature. But here's the thing. We're all thinking maybe this is some sort of sinister prank. Maybe the cameraman's paired up with another person to fake this whole thing. But look a little closely at the woman's physique. It doesn't really look like a cloak-donning person. And there's even no neck joint. Certainly calls for suspicion. Ape Ventura. In Uganda's thick forest, a rather strange event was reported. A chimpanzee was seen skillfully swinging a machete. These primates, natural tree dwellers, possess a grip strength that is 5 times that of a human, making this spectacle even more remarkable.
Stop.
This particular sighting point.
See, stuff like this, sometimes it won't be a shapeshifter. It'd be an astral projector leaving his body, jumping into animals. And we looking like this nigga been here before. Transferred energy, man. For example, Christian. Jesus or Yeshua took arm, leg, arm, head in the chapter of Mark chapter 5, 3,000 of them, and put them in 3,000 separate pigs by their request, which used to be souls that walked the earth. Got them.
Points to unsettling rumors from the 1970s about Idi Amin, the former dictator of Uganda. There were claims that Amon had trained chimpanzees to use machetes, supposedly to...
Here we go with the distractions, y'all.
Attention
Every
retirees.
time we get deep,
You're willing
man.
to be at your computer from 9 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. on most weekdays. I can show you one simple trade that could potentially bankroll your retirement. Hi, I'm David Keene.
supposedly to target his enemies.
Look,
Crazy enough,
this nigga
but
throwing
the
it like a
idea
ninja,
that
bro.
chimpanzees
That's
were
a
left
human
behind
astral
wild
projecting them.
with the weapons is more than enough to make most people worry. Plus, didn't we learn anything from the Planet of the Apes? Things like this could go very wrong very fast. Forest dweller. As a Colombian man walked his dog in the woods near his house, they started howling like crazy and eventually bolted off something that was hiding in the bushes. The man, knowing his dog's outbursts were a sign of something fishy going around, followed them only to find them fighting some sort of creature. Small, inhumane, and looking like it dropped off from another planet. The creature was able to evade the dog's ferocious yapping, but the man swears it later returned. He's sure he accidentally captured an alien on camera. But what do you think? First contact. Among the most isolated groups in the world, the Sentinelese of the Andaman Islands are particularly known for keeping outsiders away. Located in the Indian Ocean, this tribe has avoided outside contact despite numerous attempts by the Indian government since 1967. These efforts included offering coconuts, which the tribe values highly, but does not grow on their island.
Daga means coconut. Laha means pumpkin.
Baraka,
The
Stacy,
Sentinelese
Glee,
responded protectively
Glay,
with spears,
Angel
bows,
Rolling,
and arrows.
Beethoven,
In
Keys,
2006,
War,
an event highlighted
Ready,
their desire
Henry,
for
Abrego,
isolation when
Braka,
two Indian
to you and your
fishermen
family.
who accidentally drifted close to their island did not survive the encounter. The tribe is believed to be one of the world's most isolated ones. And seeing how the rest of the world is going, I don't blame them. Switchfoot. There's a crazy conspiracy theory that states the military likes to conduct breeding experiments on apes, crossing them with mythical creatures, which we think don't exist, but actually do. Of course, nobody took this theory seriously until a scientist who decided to remain anonymous ventured into the same area known as the testing site. There, he found an ape-like creature, one with long hair and slightly feminine features, but one that possibly couldn't belong to any race we know. The creature, visible for only a few seconds, isn't doctored either. Many think this is serious proof the government has been meddling in things it shouldn't. Last reptile standing. We all know the sad story of dinosaurs in the asteroid, but who says all of them were wiped out? Maybe a few of them survived and decided to live out their days in the dense shade of jungles. An amateur explorer stepped into Congo's thick jungles and came across some unidentifiable creature. Spooked, the explorer ran off, leaving behind a forgotten camera, which captured this. Now, call me crazy, but that looks remarkably similar to some sort of dinosaur. Maybe a reptilian descendant. Although mistaken as a turtle, many experts are now saying it could be a dinosaur-like species we haven't locked down yet because it lives so far away. Well, what do you think?
I can't believe that they thought that that was a... You see how high that damn camera was on the tree? That's a turtle.
Pterosaur.
See?
The
there you
trees
go.
Can't hide creatures forever. They're bound to appear sooner or later. Maybe even get caught on camera. Just over another jungle, a rather mysterious
creature any bird.
Seen taking flight. Although it could easily be a bird of prey, some sort of raptor. Here's why that's not the case. The creature's wings don't match any other bird. Plus, you can clearly see some sort of a mouth.
Exactly.
He
had a point thing on his head.
This is a pterosaur, a distant cousin of the dinosaur, believed to have gone extinct millions of years ago. Now, why it's appearing in the Congo jungle is a mystery. Maybe some ancient eggs hatched, or maybe they've always existed. We just don't know it. Kangamato.
Do you hear that?
Y'all heard that, right?
Shit.
Let me rewind that.
Kangamato is
I want y'all to listen to the sound, because remember them dragons we be hearing? It'd be extra way louder than that, because obviously that's an adult age one. But listen to that sound again.
Kangamato is a pterodactyl-like creature that has been reportedly seen numerous times flying over the forested areas of Zambia and Angola.
Let me rewind that back.
Can eggs hatched? Or maybe they've always existed. We just don't know it. Kangamato.
Do you hear that? Shit. Shit.
The Kangamato is a pterodactyl-like creature that has been reportedly seen numerous times flying over the forested areas of Zambia, Angola, and Congo. For decades, these sightings have been chalked up to confusion. Maybe it was just a giant raptor that soared, but was mistaken as the Kangamato. But here's a video that will change your mind. If you look closely enough, it has even got the reddish tinge on the inside of its wings. I'm no animal expert, but that doesn't really look like something you can confuse with an eagle.
Do you hear that? Shit. Shit. What the f***?
Are you serious? Is another?
There's a mysterious illness killing dogs across America. You may have news reports about it spreading to almost every state. And while this illness is a major issue, there's an even bigger problem for our...
Yeah, they upset with showing the truth. That was like the 30th commercial.
Conchoraptor. During a nighttime tour in the South African wilderness, a wildlife ranger and a group of tourists encountered something unexpected. As they walked along an open trail, a fast-moving creature dashed by them. Later, when they checked the video footage, they saw an animal with a build similar to a dinosaur, sparking conversations about it possibly being a Congo raptor. The Congo raptor is believed to be the last standing raptor dinosaur in the DRC, thought to have gone extinct several centuries ago. So its sudden appearance is a cause of concern. Maybe the species did survive and is still battling out life in the jungle. Forest Bruja. This looks like a scene straight out of a horror movie. A ghostly woman with no discernible face, hunched over the ground, apparently feeding on some sort of raw animal. That's disgusting. But it's not even the scariest part. In many cultures, a womanly demonic creature like that, who has a taste for raw meat, is said to haunt the forests, suddenly emerging from the ground to pounce on unsuspecting.
Isis got a bull face. Lilith got an owl face. Hathor. Like, what the hell are we looking at here, man? And they meat eaters. There ain't nothing to play with. Y'all think it's Africa. Y'all think it's a game.
Victims. A few even believe such women are actually
hybrid. What's a hybrid?
witches.
All your Bibles say hybrid.
Transform
a mixture of what?
Anything they want. Once you're in the Bruja's grasp, you don't have anywhere to go but 6 feet in the ground. Dual-headed. Mother Nature really has a knack for throwing curveballs, doesn't she? Conjoined twins have been reported a few times in history. But with animals, they're as rare gets. So you can pretty much guess why so many people freaked out when a skeleton belonging to a conjoined bat was discovered in a jungle in Brazil. Scientists immediately...
Remember the study of the people from the and the angel hybrids from the two-headed people land? We all studied it. Sacred scriptures.
Stepped up to the
I told
occasion,
you it was people like that.
the
They used to
body
show
of
on
the
the
bat
Wild
and
Discovery.
bringing it to a lab for
And they
testing,
knew we didn't
which
know what we
revealed
were
the
looking
duo
at back then.
two similarly sized separate hearts and a fused spine. Also, it's quite unnerving to think the bat surviving as long as it did. Most animals with such conditions wouldn't last in the animal kingdom. Pixie dust. According to Native American folklore, there's a race of human-like creatures called the Little People. They look like humans, but are quite miniature in size, choosing to spend days in trees, and only coming out at night to hunt. Of course, like all folklores, little people wasn't taken too seriously, but a man discovered a skeleton that's raising a lot of questions. Mainly because it's clearly a human skeleton,
Ripley's,
but
believe
its
it or not, I
size is
forgot
so
about that one.
unrealistically small,
A lot of stuff
you
up there
think it's a fake. Some others think it could belong to a little
that we
fairy,
now
which
understand.
probably existed centuries ago and was more than just a myth. El Chupacabra. El Chupacabra, one of the most feared creatures in the world, said to hunt and feast on goats, sucking all life from inside them. Like you and I know it, the Chupacabra isn't a real creature. But how would you justify a find like this? Found in an unknown jungle deep in the heart of Costa Rica. This creature turned several heads because it couldn't be identified. Many think this is the carcass of a Chupacabra forced to pass away after meeting some predator. But if there's a Chupacabra and something manages to defeat it, I fear what that something is. The gold mine.
Uganda in Africa has discovered trillions of dollars worth of gold.
In June 2022, Uganda hit the jackpot by finding a massive amount of gold ore, 31 million metric tons.
320 million
Stop.
tons of gold.
Perhaps did they find Solomon's treasure? Did you know before God judged everything, we supposedly find all things that were hidden?
Experts think this could lead to over 320,158 metric tons of pure gold, worth about $12 trillion. Imagine the possibility.
You saw what it was worth?
Gold mine could
they said no man could ever think that he could even come next to Solomon riches the way that the Most High showed favor upon him. So there ain't another one around here where we could equate that.
Uganda's economy by bringing in lots of investment opportunities, especially in mining. More than just making Uganda richer, this gold could be a game changer for solving big problems like hunger and poverty across Africa. If used wisely, this newfound wealth could support and improve lives for many generations to come. In the woods near my house only bring out boring carcasses and the occasional trash panda sightings. Vibranium stones. Who needs to pay all those electricity bills when you can just fashion a charge out of stone? These stones were discovered in the DRC, where explorers quickly gathered them to take home.
I thought vibranium wasn't real. So they say.
Once there.
Are you serious?
After this video, your life is never.
Well, I guess you
gonna
gotta
be
quit
the same.
getting deep, huh?
So I need you to stop whatever you're doing and give me your undivided attention. Okay?
500, 1,000, even 2,000.
That's 5 seconds.
I love you. Thank you so much.
Once there, they conducted several experiments to confirm. And surprisingly, although rocks don't carry electrical charges, these ones did. Once the video made its round on the internet, many netizens even claimed this was vibranium, the supposedly fictional rare metal in Black Panther and other Marvel projects.
As you can see, I am not dead.
But is that really the case? Well, most geologists have debunked this theory because rocks really can't store electricity. But what makes this weird is that they can't explain why these stones were emitting charges. It's just a big mystery. Trees trickle. I think Mother Nature really needs to go. Well, I guess in the jungle when nature calls, you don't really check out if there are any restrooms nearby. But don't worry, this tree isn't just gushing out urine. Although, technically that could be the truth. This is just plain water. But even that is a bit unnerving. Think how you'd feel if you stumble upon something like this in the middle of a hike. This often happens when the tree rots from the inside. Any water the roots suck up is eventually unable to be absorbed properly. So, once the rotting bark gives way, it allows all of that water to escape. Congo's domain. Forget Narnia, some jungles in the world might be hiding a whole new world in their trees. If you think this sounds crazy, check this out. That's a tree root carved out enough to let grown people pass through. Now that's insane enough, but wait till you see the inside. Who knew trees could look like that? Now, while this is interesting enough, here's the creepy thing. A tree like that with a defined entrance is bound to attract visitors of all sorts. Maybe it's already an established ritual site, but
that's how caves really came about. Hollow trees. Because they used to go all the way to heaven. So, yeah. If we knew ancient history.
But the folks haven't arrived yet. Or maybe it's a resting place for evil spirits, since it is located in the middle of nowhere with nothing but an eerie vibe. Jungle Dash. Swaying wildly on its side, this tree makes you think there's a monkey riding its branches. But take a closer look. That's no primate. At least not one that we can recognize anyway. If it weren't for the camera set up by a camper, no one would have believed there's a creature like that lurking our jungles. Honestly though, considering how damp and scary these places can be, it's not that shocking seeing a ghostly creature like that. Many believe it could be a Wendigo or some other folklore creature come to life. Others think this is proof that creatures like Bigfoot aren't that far off from reality. Well, let's hope these jungle humanoids stay as far away as possible. Forested Skinwalker. There's a reason you should steer clear of most forests. In the dark, they turn into a safe haven for demonic and evil creatures, most emerging from the ground to feast on the hopes and dreams of people. But it looks like nobody told this friend group, which eagerly cut through a remote forest to make it home quickly. There, lying on the side of the clearing, was some sort of creature, which ominously rose, eager to have a taste.
What is it? Dude, that's not a bug, dude. That's not... Dude, go, 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 go.
Luckily, the men drove off. But can you imagine something like this rushing towards you? Now, this may as well be a ghost, or maybe some humanoid creature. Do you bet I'm not hanging around to find out?
See, y'all thought it was a game to be in these woods. Hell nah.
The Okiapi is a rare animal that looks like a mix between a giraffe and a zebra, with its striped legs and long neck. It lives hidden in the dense Itara rainforest in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Discovered by the outside world only in 1901, okapis are very shy and hard to spot in their natural home. They thrive in a very specific habitat, the Itari rainforest, where they munch on leaves, buds, and branches. Because they need specific conditions to live and their home is shrinking, Okiapis are endangered. Protecting them helps save not just the Okiapi, but also the rich rainforest they call home. Dominican Slither. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, lurks a snake that's ready to unleash its fangs. Only it was thankfully caught by a construction crew that was working to clear a path in the jungle in Dominica. Just look at girth, that size. This snake isn't messing with anyone, and that alone makes it a celebrity because this reticulated python was later measured to be well over 20 feet. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that's the biggest living snake ever found. Many believe the snake might have traveled all the way to Dominica.
All right, so listen up. State Farm was trying to charge me $197 for car insurance.
That's
no,
like
thank you.
40
I got a friend who
commercials.
told me about this website. Now I'm spending $58 a month, full coverage.
Way to Dominica from neighboring country, but that means there are much larger snakes that have yet to be found. Oof. Congolese myth. You'd expect to see animals, heck, even evil spirits, when you're deep in a jungle, but not this. Now, I don't know what it is. At first, it looks like some sort of puppet being controlled by a hidden tribesman. But what would be the point? To be out in the open and hide yourself, communicating only through a measly puppet. That sounds pretty unrealistic. So what on earth is this? As crazy as it sounds, It might just be some sort of mythical creature we aren't aware of. Maybe it's always been a part of our jungles, but we don't know. Well, if I ran into that, I'd pray to meet a wild animal because it's just that creepy. Silhouette of horror. The worst thing about being in the middle of the woods at night is that you don't really know if there's anything there because everything is just dark. Even this video isn't enough. You'll have to squint your eyes and turn up the brightness to make out the silhouette that's eerily standing in the middle of the forest. From a distance, its long, lanky legs stand out, suggesting whatever this is isn't just a human trying to play a prank. It's not a cleverly placed mannequin or statue either, because it clearly moved. Well, as long as it stays there. Mosque gator. I think there's something wrong with this gator. Just look at it. It looks like something out of this world. I don't know whether it's just unlucky or designed like that. Either way, it won't be too fun living like that. Funnily enough, a few locals are sure this is a hybrid between a mosquito and an alligator. Yeah, I know how crazy it sounds, but just check out the mosquitoes in Congo, and this is smaller than most mosquitoes out there. So who knows what on earth is going on there? Open discussion. The Karo tribe, living by the beautiful lower Omo Valley in Ethiopia, is renowned for its stunning body painting, which serves almost like a piece of clothing. Each design and color.
There you have it. Hell's Unleashed. Some folks see it. Some folks are able to be Baraka favorite to record it and catch it. Still, the world won't believe. They'll believe that man is good enough to make things like that happen, and their everyday appliances don't make it to 6 months. Welcome and thank you for coming to HSE-TV Entertainment with BC VI Vet Root, your soul brother in righteousness. Until next time, braka, braka, braka. Don't understand that. Kyrese, bless you.